Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. And yes, you are added to the list. Everybody that came in so far is added.
Welcome to Aries season.
That's right.
It's Aries season. It's my birthday season. And I'm going to be celebrating all Aries season long. Because you know why? Why, Mr. O?
Because that's what you do.
Maybe, but it's also because my birthday is at the end of Aries season. I'm right at the tail end. So why not celebrate the whole time, eh?
That's no BS.
No, it's not.
And hi, Mr. Maurice. Thank you for your donation.
Hey, good to see you again. Thank you always for your donations, but it's great to see you back,
Thank
Mr.
you.
M.
Appreciate that. And, okay, so we're here on our Thursday night show. We're going to do a card for the collective, and we have a special birthday reading. We normally like to do those at the beginning.
It's a very special birthday
Yeah, we'll get
reading.
into that in a minute. We're going to go ahead and do the...
yeah, we'll do the card for the collective first, which is from...
So thank you for the birthday greetings, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. I'm going to just make the most of it, make the most of each one. Hey, I'm turning 68 this year.
Thank you, Mr. Maurice.
Thank you, Mr. M.
And so she's pulling the card for the collective from the Seasons of the Witch Ostara.
Possibly the last one, but maybe I'll do Sunday too, and then hang it up for a while, do some other things before we bring out the Beltane one. All right. I'm going to cut it, and we'll let you pick one out, Mr. O. A happy spring equinox to all. I mean, I'm celebrating Aries season, so I keep forgetting it's spring equinox, you know, but it is. And I love spring equinox. Favorite time of year. All right. Ah, that is so funny.
It is.
That's the card for the collective that I put on social media this week.
Yeah, so was that Tuesday's card? I don't remember.
It was, oh no, it was Wednesday's card. I pull them on Wednesdays, so just
Plant
yesterday.
Dying.
What number is that?
30, and it says, seek the medicine that nourishes the creative spark, awaiting your presence. Nice.
Thank you, Cherry. All right, so 28, 29. Why can't I get there? Good grief. Plant dying. The keywords are experimentation, the power of hobbies, doing it just for fun. And that was kind of the focus of this card. And, you know, spring and summer months is all about fun, good times. Experimentation and creative outlets are catalysts for joy and self-discovery. And this card invites you to explore the many avenues of your passions. There's no room for structured timelines, rigid outcomes. Instead, do it just for fun, allowing the spontaneous dance of creativity to emerge, whether it's plant dyeing, using botanicals to make your own watercolors, or any pursuits that awaken your soul. Let the journey itself, rather than the pursuit of perfection, be the reward. In a love reading, this card can mean embracing spontaneity as a way to reconnect. Surprise your partner with a hobby you both can enjoy. Revive some of the playfulness you had when you first started dating. In a reading about finance or career, invest in ways you can bring joy and excitement to mundane tasks. Pursue a different idea, seek inspiration, or engage with people who are innovators in your field to find a renewed sense of purpose. Whatever your pursuit may be, embrace the spontaneity of new endeavors and let go of expectations. You are called to let your joy run free, making space to see what can emerge. And, you know, I've talked about this. There's many applications for this card. It showed how you could use it in love relationships, spicing things up a little bit, having a little bit more fun, maybe doing a shared activity or hobby together with family, with friends, you know, get together some game nights, or even some outdoor things that you can do, some outdoor sports, as the season warms up. And also, of course, in your work life, you can do things there to kind of make it more enjoyable and fun. Take the routine out of routine. Make it unroutine. And try to do things a little bit different to shake things up again.
I know people that even like to do crossword puzzles with each other.
Right.
Talk about an activity.
So, whatever the case may be, it's time to, and also don't be afraid to experiment and have some fun with stuff. Nobody is judging you, right? You're not doing this for awards or recognition. You're just doing it to have some good old-fashioned fun. All right. So we have for the collective. Good luck with that.
So as I alluded to and as Banshee alluded to, we have a special birthday reading.
Yes, Miss Victoria had a request that we do. She's not here right now unless she's lurking in the shadows. She wanted us to do a reading for her cat Toby's birthday. And so, undaunted, we've got a reading. It's going to be not 6 cards, it's going to be 5. And it's something I came up with just on the fly today. So we're going to give it a try. I just thought, why not? We'll have a reading that I could use for cats or dogs. Modify it just a little bit. It'll be perfect. So,
happy birthday, Toby.
Happy birthday to Toby the cat. I think she said Toby's 9. Am I right? I think it was 9.
Something like that, yep.
Yeah. So,
So
our
I've
cats are 11
prepared a
this
birthday
year.
video for Toby.
Oh, that's so cute.
Because I never do nothing for Toby or anyone special.
Aw, that's very cute. Yeah, if we do know in advance, maybe Mr. O will be in the birthday video business here now.
Who knows, right?
Okay. All right, so let me get that reading up. So why don't you shuffle, Mr. O, and cut, and I'll let you pull the cards. Unless you have a question about them. Some of them are a little bit, hard to discern. So let me see if I can find Toby's birthday reading. There it is. Oh, I'm sorry, and I didn't post the list. I am going to do that right now. Let me do that. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Thank you, Mr. O. Okay. And Mr. O hasn't seen this reading yet, but if you pull up notes, it's in there, Mr. O.
Okay.
So card 1 is the gift Toby would like to get his paws on in the year ahead. And it's reversed. And do you know the magical symbols that might help in this case?
I don't remember them.
All right, let me take a look. I have a feeling I know what it is. Yes, it's the 10 of Swords.
I was
but
going to
it's
say Swords or
reversed.
Wands, yeah.
It's the 10 of Swords reversed. So that's really good. I have to say here, Toby the cat, that, you're in a process this year of renewing and healing. Maybe last year wasn't everything it cracked up to be. Maybe the person you own, your owner, or they think they're your owner, didn't give you enough treats or presents, and you might feel a little bit shafted. Maybe they left you alone taking some trips, and you felt a little bad about that. But I think you like many cats, you're very forgiving, you're very loving, and you're on the road to healing.
So it's the 10 of Wands?
Yes.
Okay, so 10 of Wands reversed.
And that's what you want this year.
And what is the...
It's the gift that you want to get your paws on the year ahead. I should have been a little bit more clearer in my interpretation, but you go.
Well, so really, Toby, it's about how you can find ways more and more to take control of the relationship between Victoria and you. How you can make her do more of your will.
Well, and okay,
releasing those burdens, like maybe she can make life even easier for you.
So it's the 10 of Swords. I agree.
Wands, you said.
I said Swords.
I asked Wands and you said yes.
Oh, I thought you said I thought it was Wands, and I said no, Swords. Okay.
I relied on you, and this is what happened.
It's the 10 of Swords, people. So let me just try this again, because I was a little off. Well, we're doing this for the first time. Give me some leeway.
Some whack, slack.
So the Ten of Swords reversed, as I said, but this is the gift for the year ahead, is to cast aside what's happened to you in the past, Toby. Just cast it aside now and move forward towards the light. Any kind of negative influences or things that have been bothering you or missteps the person you own, had with you in the past year, let that all be part of the past now. You're ready to heal this year. That's what you really want. You want a better year where you can trust your owner is not going to let you down.
Well, I know that although Victoria and Toby have been together a long time, Toby was originally a rescue cat, I believe.
True.
And so, sometimes those kind of feels always stay with you. So in this next year, you need to totally expunge any doubts you have about your relationship, about, how it felt to be, alone and looking for the shelter of somebody like Victoria.
That's very nice. Okay, so the next one is card 2 is the gift you need right now in your life. Oh, and it's the Eight of Cups reversed. I think I got that one right. The Eight of Cups reversed. You know what it is? The gift you need in your life right now is to stay exactly where you are and to have things be exactly as they are right now. You feel like you're getting enough love and support that you need not look anywhere further.
This is exactly right. This card is talking about you saying there is much for you to enjoy here now. There is nothing more special beyond, the confines of your home. And that's good news for a cat who's been taken in. Like, you don't want to have to deal with the ambiguity of, being, in a shelter again.
Right.
So enjoy.
Enjoy. Card 3. The gift you receive from the person you own. That would be Ms. Victoria. Oh, look, I have all reversed cards.
It's 9 lives.
I have all reversed cards, Mr. O.
Uh-oh.
And so this, my friend, is... I just want to see something. Is the Three of Wands.
Reversed. So the gift from the person is that they're not challenged by anything else beyond taking care of you.
The gift of this person is that, that they're with you so much. I know for a fact that Ms. V has been working from home, and so you spend a lot of time together. You don't have to fret and worry, when too much when they're away. Yes, she takes trips. Yes, she has a life. But, she does a lot of her stuff from home as well. And so I feel here you don't have to feel nervous and stressed over, anticipating when she's going to come back, when she's going to, or if she's going to come back. She's pretty much omnipresent in your life, and she's there for you.
All right. I like that. Finally.
Card 4. The gift that will keep that tail moving and that heart purring. The gift of good health in the year ahead. Okay, you're getting up there, Toby, I have to say.
The Sun reversed.
You're 9 years old, and so you can't expect it to be, you're in optimal kitten health, but I'll tell you what, you're in a pretty good place right now with the Sun reversed. The Sun reversed is saying there may be little minor, how should I say this, accidents on the bed and, and maybe places that Ms. Victoria will not like to clean up so much. But I see that to be the worst of it, and...
What is that card position?
That's the gift that will keep that tail moving and that heart purring. The gift for good health.
It is the gift for good health. It may be that Toby will not be like 110% healthy, but probably most other problems from aging cats will be minimal, that he will just be content to be in your company. And as long as you do what's right for him in terms of diet and maybe a certain amount of exercise, there you go.
And finally, The last card, the gift this possum year ultimately has for you. And it's reversed.
Oh, I thought it was only 4 cards.
No, I said it was 5.
Hi, Kara. Sounds like bad news.
I have to look this one up.
Well, it's the same as the first one, right?
Yeah.
So it's a sword.
Oh, is it the 6 of Swords?
I think so.
Hold on. Sorry about this. They got really cute with the cat symbology on this deck, and so it's a little tricky at times.
It's the 6 of Swords.
Nope, it's not.
What is it then?
I don't know. I guess I'll have to look, eh?
Oh, you're right. So it's the wands then, maybe.
I guess it's the wands, but why doesn't it have the wand symbol like that other card had? So I'm a little confused by that.
Well, it's holding a wand.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's why.
So it's the
They're
reverse
not
6 of
consistent.
wands.
I love this deck, but they're not consistent. So it's a 6 of wands reversed. Okay. I'll tell you what, Toby. The 6 of wands reversed, and what this is telling me is that the gift you ultimately get is that you want more. You seem to always want more support, and of course Ms. V is always willing to give it to you. It just seems as though sometimes, though, that this gift never seems to be enough because the love and support she has for you, you just want more.
Wow. I like that. I was sort of thinking like this is saying like maybe, you'll always feel like you can eke out more affection from her, whether that's really true or not.
Well, that's close to what I said here,
Okay,
actually.
I guess so.
And I think here, this is saying that, there are other rewards you could have in life, more treats, more snacks, be spoiled rotten. But I feel that the affection and attention that you get, that's what you really want more of in this year ahead. And I think after Ms. Victoria hears this reading, she'll be more than happy to give it to you. So,
happy birthday, Toby.
Happy birthday to Toby.
And Kara, so isn't there like a process where, you would be able to say, hey, that's not true, like, and appeal this somehow? It just sort of seems like really random and like somebody just said, cross her off. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. Hi, Nicole. No, it is not too late.
I'm getting you guys both on the list.
It's not so much lateness, it's about how many people we have and how many people we think we can do.
Yeah.
Currently, it's somewhere
9.
between 15 and 18 people that we can do in 2 hours. But it's always fungible depending on other factors.
Depending on if we do a birthday reading like we just did. And Toby is done, by the way. I meant to
So we're on to Jave.
We're on to Javi.
And let's see if they left us a question. I don't see that. So Tej, if you're here. Okay. Well, you got problems, don't you, Kara? Sorry about that.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll look at that for you. We'll see if we see anything.
If that's what you're reading or your question is
I
about.
think that's what it is.
All right. So Tejave, if you're here, we need your question.
Yeah, Javi, you are up right now.
I'll give you a moment, but I will mention that, of course, my Emotional Exchanges is on tomorrow, and it should be a pretty good show. I'm going to do an enchantment at the end from the Enchanted Tarot. It's basically going to be a short affirmation and visualization, so do check that out. But it is a complete reading for each sign of the zodiac. 2 cards. The top one, the vibe of the week. The second one, are you lucky in love, romance, that kind of thing. So that's tomorrow at 7 a.m.
That kind of thing.
And still waiting for Tejave.
Last call for Javi. I guess I'll have to put them at the end. Does this happen before? Can't remember.
Yeah, so we're going to have to be a little stern and
We may
remind you
have
that
to be in the future.
you
Hold
have to
on a
leave your
minute.
question. Now, of course, it is a slow night Thursday night.
So
Still,
sometimes
we
can
miss
wiggle.
time, though, trying to, wait for you and get it together.
All right, Libra is up.
Libra. And Libra did leave a question. I believe it was, what is coming towards me? Yes, what's coming towards me? Okay, so I'm going to use a deck for that. I'm going to use my Night Sun Tarot by Fabio Listrani for Lo Scarabeo decks.
Oh, jeez. This thing. There we go. Okay. And I'll get the Lenormand, which is
So is that
under
your reading, the
Sunny's
1, 2, 3?
butt. What?
You're reading the 1, 2, 3?
What's coming towards? Yeah, we'll do that. It doesn't have to be, but I think we could do that today.
All right, so what's coming towards you? And it's the reversed Five of Pentacles. So what's coming towards you maybe is something that gives you a sense of hope or sort of turns the corner on something that maybe was isolating you or making you feel isolated. You may have been feeling like you just weren't connecting in the right way or that you were at a sense of a loss of hope. But what is coming towards you maybe is an opportunity to find where you belong or to find that place you've been looking for, something like that. Maybe realizing a sense of light or knowledge or information that you didn't quite have before. Hi, Russ.
So what? Russ is here. Hi, Russ. So what is that again?
It's the Five of Pentacles
That's what
reversed.
I thought from what you were saying. Okay, I just want to be sure. Oh, now, why would my computer do that? Jeez. Okay, the Five of Pentacles reversed. Is it upright?
It's
upright.
reversed.
It is reversed. I think the Five of Pentacles reverse, Libra, says that, if you haven't been feeling optimal lately, health-wise, etc., you're going to be getting your energy back. You're going to be getting your strength back. There's been so many things going around, as me and Mr. O both know. So I think what this might be saying is what's coming towards you is healing if you've been ill. What's coming towards you is a sense of belonging if you feel like if you've been left out of something, if somebody's left you out of an activity or inadvertently didn't invite you to a party or something like that. It seems like everything will straighten out. And also, if you've been having some financial difficulties, it's possible that maybe some of those stresses are going to be starting to ease now. So why is that important? Why is all that important?
Hi, Tajav. I just explained what happened.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. We gave time.
Okay, so why is it important? Well, it's the Ten of Cups.
The Ten of Cups, upright.
Right, upright. It's important because maybe this will take you to where you feel that unconditional happiness or love or acceptance really will be. That finding the way that's coming towards you that sort of brings you back into a sense of community or a sense of hope will lead you to further happiness.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the Ten of Cups is just saying, Libra, that why is this important? Because you're going to be feeling a lot better. You're going to feel like things are where they need to be. You feel like maybe something has come to an end. So for example, if there was a disagreement or a misunderstanding that was separating you from others, it's all going to mend. It's all going to work itself out. If, finances have been a problem, it just seems as though some of that is going to ease either through your own efforts or, you might be able to get some help or support that you need from somewhere. So it just seems like that's a part of a happy ending here. So why is that important? Things are coming to the end and you should appreciate it and also build from there, right? Make sure that you don't lose this better position that you're being put in.
Russ, we just haven't reposted the list, so we will in a
Yeah,
moment.
Russ, we'll get you on.
Well, he knows he's on. He thinks he's the last, though, but Tajavi came back, so she's actually the last.
No, because I put Tajavi there before Russ came in.
Okay, whatever.
So I don't post it, but in between readings, Russ. Go ahead. Where are things headed?
And it's the reversed Four of Wands.
Better conditions, but there still may be some little things that you have to take care of, Libra. Just tweak a little bit or just monitor the situation and make sure everything is going in the right direction. I think the Four of Wands is just, when it's reversed, is saying pay attention to the little things going on that could cause maybe a disruption later. You don't want to lose the ground that it seems like you're gaining.
Well, overall, the idea is that things that are really depressing or sort of fill you with a sense of dread or not belonging is what's coming to you, but facing those head on, facing those and realizing, well, it's reversed, right? So it is sort of moving through that process would bring you the happiness or the unconditional love or happiness of the Ten of Cups. And ultimately what that is that helps you build a better home, that helps you build a home that maybe isn't exactly as perfect as you want, but the Four of Wands is still a pretty darn good card to end it. And in the Lenormand, it's true. There's the rider, the sense of movement towards something.
Yes.
And there's the tree,
I
which
think,
of course is kind of like the Four of Wands in a way, the sense of family or of something growthful.
something growthful. I feel like something growthful is moving towards you. And so, I think also if this whole situation involved family, friends, your tribe, your home life, like Mr. O suggested, some home ties here. And also that five, besides the four, the Five of Pentacles sometimes can too. Everything is going to be better, as far as those situations go. More growthful. You're moving towards positive things now. Things are turning around.
You should really pat yourself on the back because the first card indicates that there's really a lot of strife and stressful situations that maybe you had been facing and that you're pulling yourself through. The rider and the tree seems to indicate that as you continue to grow, you continue moving towards a better direction. That's what we have for you.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Okay, I posted the list. And Emily is up. Hi, Emily.
Well, Nicole, right now we are getting just past the middle of the Mercury retrograde, and it is very hard for people necessarily to communicate well or to be felt that they have communicated well, that somebody else is really understanding what they said. And so it could be that too, that maybe, you might have, some foibles there, but still other people also play their part in being able to understand here.
Oh, okay, I see what he did. All right, Emily.
I was just talking to Nicole, that's all.
No, I know. I just wanted to see what was said. I was wondering what M's current intentions are towards me. We saw each other last weekend, but we didn't interact very much. I just wonder if our connection is headed anywhere. Okay. All right. Thanks for that info. And I'm going to use my Mystic Gnome Tarot. I'm bringing out some decks for the spring. Some magical, fun, or light decks. They're kind of a mixed bag here right now. I still have some of my cat decks in here.
No, that's fine. I mean, there's so much to get into with the whole idea about communication. And, this could just mean that you're not your normal self either. And so, you have to just try a little harder to meter what you're saying. And, by the time you get the handle on that, then Mercury's back to normal, and then maybe it's not so much an issue anymore.
So, we've already had our Mercury foibles.
Oh my goodness, have we?
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Mr. O was supposed to get tested this week by the cardiology department, and that appointment got canceled. They called him to let him know, but they called the wrong phone number.
They didn't have my number.
A real old phone number. Well, not real old. 3-year-old phone number he hasn't used, and they should have his current one.
Yeah,
it's very
it's
strange.
one health service with all these, points of intersection that they should have had it. So
And
I had to take her out there anyway. So
yeah, I
because
had
her
an appointment the same day, but he went there for nothing, and also we really needed him getting these tests.
Surely, it's up to you. Either way, the thing is if you're just going to stay and watch, it's fine to wait until it's your turn. But if you think you might stray away and you're not sure if you'll be back and we call for you, Well, if we don't have your question, we have to put you down at the bottom of the list again.
Yeah.
So it's always best to leave a question if you don't mind doing that.
But if you don't want to, just be
If you
here.
don't want to, then just be around when we call for you.
Yep. All right.
Either way, it usually works
I
out.
don't like to make it a mandate. I mean,
Yeah, right,
I understand,
exactly.
when we had a moderator, it definitely made it easier for the moderator, but, we don't necessarily need that here. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I wanted to apologize if I sounded abrasive about that at all with, people leaving and not leaving their questions. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you wanted to know about N. I want to get back on track here.
Right.
That you saw last week, and if it's going anywhere. Well, the Three of Wands is reversed. We'll talk about that. This is my revenge day. The Two of Pentacles is reversed. But
Ha, ha, ha.
But the Queen of... Oh, you caught it. Good. But the Queen of Swords is upright. Yeah, look for those Lenormand. I think we're going to need them. Look at you. Did you wish Toby a happy birthday? I don't think you did.
All right. So in the Lenormand, we had the fish and the coffin.
Ooh. Well, I don't know. That might be interesting.
So about that connection, if it's headed somewhere.
It's tough to say that it is at the moment. This person may be... I don't know if this is about N. I'm thinking it is about N, maybe. What they might be thinking right now. They're just not focused. They're not focused on any particular maybe relationship or person right now. Maybe their relationship life, their romantic life is not their focus at this time, or they're really, I would just say this is another possibility, they may be really scattered and, they may be doing things romantically, but they just aren't tying themselves to any one direction right now.
Well, your basic question is if the connection is going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I look at that Three of Swords and I Three of Wands, and I sort of feel that the idea is that they're not seeing that opportunity, or they're not willing to take what they see as an opportunity, maybe more like the latter. And so that sort of says that it's just sort of stale there. Maybe they haven't really decided. To some degree, the Three of Wands is about deciding something.
Too. That's what I'm wondering too,
Okay.
I think, yeah. So what do you think about... And the Two of Pentacles reversed just makes it seem, again, maybe I was kind of feeding off of these two cards together. Because there's a lack of a cohesive plan or direction. They're a little bit scattered right now. They may be burnt out. They may have other things on their plate. I almost think there's outside influences.
I think
here.
it could be that they find that they're busy elsewhere, or they maybe are using that as a way to an excuse to say, well, I can't really focus there now, So in other words, I sort of feel like it's the same, that they're just sort of putting it off, which doesn't necessarily mean they're not interested.
But I would say that this possibly could indicate to me that there's a little imbalance going on here between the two of you. For example, is one thinking more highly of the other than the other is thinking of them? Is one thinking more highly of starting a relationship than the other is thinking of them? It just seems like there's a lack of balance here.
Is that this one? The Queen?
No, it's that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And the Queen is indicating to me that somebody's got to move this forward. Somebody's got to make a decision or, make a choice.
This card is N in a way, but it's sort of like that moment before they really feel they have to do it. They sort of have that sense that they could make this decision, but I sort of see them sort of standing in a pause moment, even though that card doesn't necessarily indicate that. That's the feel I'm getting, though, is that they're just not ready to decide. And maybe that's slightly hopeful, that maybe it's just a matter of them clearing space in their head somehow.
Well, it is upright. I want to think that somebody's going to decide.
Hey,
I mean,
Ari.
maybe it's just a matter of you being more present around them and hoping that this is going to, make a difference. Somebody's got to make a move here. That's what I'm thinking. Now,
maybe that's you then.
I'm kind of looking at this last card as more encompassing, the both of you and not just N. Somebody has to be willing to make a move or a decision. And I look here at the
Lenormand.
The Lenormand, which is the coffin and the fish. And I'm thinking here that, it's time now to bring things together, to put an end to like you see these fish here, you got a school of fish and they're swimming all over the place, It's time to kind of thin that out. It's kind of time to maybe for somebody to decide that this is a relationship I want to work on. This is somebody I'm setting my sights on, and I'm not going to play the field anymore. Or I'm not going to go out looking or dating other people at the same time. I'm almost thinking here that maybe there is some hope for this relationship, but it's pretty rocky right now. I would just say, let's ask this again.
Yeah, we might want to ask it again in the future. And although we kind of thought that maybe this could be about both of you on some level, that one of you has to make that move kind of idea, this could also be saying, too, that N is sort of, like you said, I think you're wanting to thin out the herd. This often comes up when people do have choices. I'm not saying that N has other choices for relationships, but maybe there's something you don't know, and maybe it's not so much a choice of you amongst others, but a choice of you amongst other situations that they have going on. One of them could be career related. Do they have other people in their life that need a certain level of interaction, like parents or children or siblings or cousins, things like that?
Totally good point. Because I was actually almost going to go that way at first, is that this means that, somebody's got to be willing to put a lot of other things aside in their life to make room for love in a relationship. It just seems like, and maybe they're just
That's a good point.
Undergoing a kind of scattered period right now where they can't focus, their attention. So that's why I just say ask later, you know what? Because also Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde, that's right. That's our way to get you to come back and ask again.
And the funny thing is you did see them last weekend and you said you didn't communicate or you didn't have much interaction. And the thing to me is it's funny about that because Mercury retrograde is really about communications that kind of go amiss. Or maybe they don't happen. So, it just may be a timing thing. And I would be sure to, not give up yet, but ask again and let's see if the energies shift a little bit. Good luck with that.
So, Mr. Maurice is up.
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Maurice. Thanks again for your donation. Appreciate that.
Good to see you. How are you holding up there at work? I hope things are okay.
Well, the question, what do the cards see coming towards me in my current job in general?
Ooh. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use my Deviant Moon Tarot. We could get to that. And
No, I didn't. Okay.
You're welcome, Emily. I hope that was helpful.
It was a little bit vague, I will say that.
Hey, boy. Sit yourself down. All right, so it is the same job since we've known you.
I'll take the Lenormand, Sonny. Thank you.
Guess what, Mr. Maurice? I hadn't had a raise in a while at my current job. And about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I got a $2.50 raise. And I was told that this was because it's a municipal job, that they were already looking at the fact that they had to boost up towards minimum wage in our state or whatever. So that was kind of nice. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate knowing that. And I do feel like that's the kind of question that maybe you should come back in a week or two, maybe when Mercury's no longer retrograde.
Well, it'll still be retrograde for a couple, at least 2 more weeks.
Yeah, so it's a pretty it's just a part-time job and it's still not a living. Thank goodness I have, Social Security and a pension.
You've missed a lot, actually. He's being checked out for a stroke, a minor stroke.
That's right. Yeah, I had a minor stroke probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Well, we don't know when.
We thought it was an inner ear infection because I was really off balance, but an MRI says I've had a mild stroke of some sort.
So he's undergoing testing right now. So anyway.
All right, so back to your question. Now, here's your cards, Mr. Maurice. The first card is the 8 of Swords. It's upright. The second card is that reversed Queen of Wands. And then your final card is the reversed 3 of Swords. So that's kind of interesting. I like that one at the end there.
with that, but let's take a look at what I have.
Hello, baby. The Letter.
It's funny you're getting that, Mr. M. The Letter.
And the Tree. So I want to start off right away and say that the 8 of Swords, to me, I wanted to look at your question again. Basically, you were saying what is coming towards you in your current job. This strongly feels like the sense of maybe situations trying to make you feel like you're isolated or you're powerless. You don't have access to things you might need in your job. To some degree, this could be how it's making you feel, but it's not necessarily totally 100% factual. Like maybe you realize that there are some semi-aggressive moves being made in rules or regulations surrounding your job, but the feeling is like they are capturing you in a certain way or limiting resources, limiting access. I mean, this could just be like a reporting relationship too, like if you're unionized or if you have a series of relationships with supervisors, this could have something to do with that they might be changing the rules about how you can access, questions with them. I know I've been going on. Go ahead.
No, I have a whole story, so if you want to go through it, that's fine.
I wanted to pause here.
Well, I'm going to go through it.
Okay.
So, Mr. M, that 8 of Swords is so appropriate to what a lot of people possibly in your position are doing right now. They're nervous, they're sweating, they're anxious about what might be happening around them, about things they feel they aren't capable of controlling. Now, to some degree, there may be truth there. To some degree, that's maybe, just you overthinking, over worrying, and try not to do that. Because I also feel with the Queen of Wands here, the Queen of Wands is either saying one of two things to me, that either, you just are hoping you are going to fly under the radar, or that you're going to, or that maybe you need to be just sort of like just doing my job here, just trying to make things and not to be, seen so much. It's almost as if you almost are afraid too of being disempowered in some way in this position, right? Wouldn't you say that with that card a little bit?
I have a different feeling about it, so I'll just let you go on for now.
And the final card here, though, the 3 of Swords reversed, indicates to me that some of these feelings will dissipate. I feel here that some of the stress or grief or worries that you may be having about your situation may ease up a little bit.
So I felt this one maybe suggested a lack of power, or you're feeling like you have a lack of recourse in some respects in your job.
I like that.
But this one here suggests to me that there's this possibility that you or somebody may say something you'll regret maybe to somebody, or that it's a sense of acting out in a way. It could also be a sense not so much of acting out, but of maybe retreating from your moral position. Like maybe something happens to furthermore make you feel like you just better be quiet about it. So I don't know if this is a work situation that you feel is taking advantage of you, but it does look like something turns around. Like maybe if there were things going on that were kind of harmful to you, or maybe separating you from parts of the process. Maybe, you know, people were being told not to associate with other people. I don't know, crazy workplaces. This could be saying that some of that is abating, that, you know, to some degree, situations that seem onerous, you know, maybe are going to repair themselves.
I like that, and I think we're pretty much on the same wavelength here, you know, to some degree. And, you know, with the tree and the letter, that's kind of interesting to me, too. Is it possible, when all is said and done, that there actually might be growth opportunities here for you? You know, you might get some notification or letter or something maybe that you can aspire to here that would be growthful. So I don't know if there might be some job opening or something like that that you might be interested in pursuing that might, maybe you feel is a little bit more secure. I also feel here that this could indicate to me, I was going to say something about that tree. What was it? Or it was about the letter. I just feel that it looks to me like maybe things are going to be, you know, it's almost as if people will work better as a team, too, I kind of feel here.
Well,
there might be more unity with people.
I remember you're in USPS and that you've been trying to move into different areas there. I almost wonder, and I don't want to ever tell persons, you know, go ahead and fight the fight, you know, with, you know, management. But sometimes I get the feeling like in this context, the Queen of Wands could be talking about that. Like maybe somebody saying, hey, I'm going to speak truth to power. I don't know that that's a good thing at this time right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm sort of advising against that. But I don't like to advise people to be, you know, hide from confrontation. But sometimes you need to really measure that out. And maybe the tree talks about the idea that you have to kind of sink those roots in there and hold on, because this may be going on for a little while. But maybe that letter does talk about still that prospect of something better happening in the future.
Maybe that promotion does come through eventually. But I like what he said there too about sticking your roots in the ground. It's almost as if it seems to me that maybe it's saying that, you know, you're pretty safe and stable there right now, despite if things start looking a little bit rocky. I know with USPS there's stuff going on, but it's not like what's going on in the regular, well, I don't even know, you know, with the government right now and a lot of the cutbacks. But, you know, it's kind of like education and some of the other things, maybe some of these things, and Social Security, right? You know, there are some things that they may be in danger of thinking of privatizing. And so I don't see any signs of any major shakeup here, in that there may be some things that rattle your cage a little bit in that regard. But it looks like ultimately, whatever happens, there may be some growth opportunities for you coming.
Sure hope so for you.
I'm optimistic overall about this reading. It started off with more kind of how you might start feeling about things, and ultimately, though, it ended up saying, but things are going to get better. Things are going to improve. So keep that good thought in mind, Mr. And I wish you the best.
Thanks, Mr. You're very welcome. And Mysterious Queen has joined us. Hey there.
And Shirley, I don't know why
Thank you for the good wishes,
I'll
everyone.
try again. What is going on?
Shirley left us a question.
Did it post or not? I seem to be cut off from being able to post.
All right, well, I can take care of that. So Shirley's question is, will my business be improving soon? More clients or income? Did you want me to go ahead and post that? I can do that.
I'm going to try again because I just reloaded.
I'm not too bad.
There it is.
I had a misappointment yesterday where I was supposed to go somewhere, and they had apparently not been able to contact me and tell me that the appointment was canceled. But since I was taking her to the same place for another appointment, it kind of worked out.
It kind of worked out, and he's going to be seen next week, so we're pretty happy they could squeeze him in next week because he really needs to get things looked at. So as you can see, Mr. O is doing well. His only main problem with the stroke has been dizziness.
Yeah, I have a little bit of dizziness and or some off-balance moments. It's never quite as intense as it was originally, so I hope that's good. You know, I'm on blood thinners and some other protocols right now while they're still pulling together information. Thank you,
So did
Mysterious
Shirley
Queen.
post a question?
Yes, and I read it already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. Will my business be improving soon with more clients or income?
Okay. Business improving soon with more clients or income. Got it. I just wanted to give Miss Mysterious Queen. When I post
You're
the
welcome,
list next
Shirley.
time, Mysterious Queen, you'll be on it. All right. I'm using something called the Flower Tarot. I haven't used this one yet on the show. I got it kind of late last year and, you know, it was off season. But now we're getting into the growing season and I brought it out. It's all flowers. And in its own way, it's very pippy. But it's colorful. I like it. King of Coins is upright. Well, va-va-voom there. I mean, that's a good card for this kind of reading. Justice is upright. Oh, but there's always got to be some water to throw on this nice fire. The Nine of Swords is upright. But that's not so horrible. We'll talk about that.
Well, you may always have a certain level of anxiety,
Yeah.
but it looks like maybe some things are going to kind of equal out a little bit. Maybe justice is a good sign that if there are any particular legal situations involved with your business, like, you know, filling out new paperwork or requiring certain licensure or things like that, those things seem to work out fine. The King of Coins interests me the most because it really talks about maybe having solid management principles or the ability to really manage and organize yourself financially or material-wise. I'm going to stop
I'd
for a
love
moment.
to see the Lenormand.
Oh, okay.
That's
Of
all right.
course you would. So it's the Anchor and the Tower. And that's good for business, I suppose, or
I think
the
it's-
idea.
I think, if nothing else, Shirley, it's showing a lot of stability potentially coming. So if your business has been underwater, so to speak, you know, I think that things will start to at least evening up. If you're not making a lot of profit at the moment, at least things will balance out. You know, that's justice here. And also justice is a reminder, though, that, you know, you're going to get back what you put into it. So
Yeah.
it's an equal kind of exchange in a way. So what you sow, you reap. And so by all means, do what you can to encourage growth. It looks at the very least that things will balance out. And some of that will be because of your your stewardship of the business and the money, whether you're able to attract more people through smart, savvy marketing, or whether you are able to just balance your books right as money is coming in so that everything is even. You're not spending more than you're getting. And ultimately, with the Nine of Swords here, I would say, yeah, he's kind of got that right. You may have a lot of worries and anxieties right now, but, you know, you're just going to have to see how things play out. Some of those worries and anxieties may not be valid. You know, you might be overstressing it, and maybe not. Maybe some of this is very valid because maybe you've been struggling for a while and you really want to see things take off again. The Tower and the Anchor tell me that there's stability in business. So I feel here there's security, safety, stability in business. So I feel like things will improve, but it may not be the total bells and whistles that you're looking for.
Improvement may be kind of coming at a slower pace. I don't see a clear indication of clients necessarily. I feel that maybe if you spend any amount of time looking at similar businesses to your own, maybe corollaries or people that do pretty much the same thing, that might fill you with more anxiety because you may realize that maybe you're all in a similar situation. So you may want to not do that and just really focus on what is your basics that maybe puts you a little bit different from everybody else. And so trying to identify things about yourself that maybe in that corollary of similar businesses makes you a little different, makes you have something that's more value added in a way. That might help you dispel some of that. But like I said before, I have a feeling that as a business owner and a person, these are the kind of times right now where some of that is just going to be normal in a way. The prospects look good. It looks like things are going to stabilize, especially seen by that tower and the anchor that specifically just kind of hold the line with what you can. Expansions may not be what you can do a lot of right now, even if it looks like everybody's saying expanding brings more business. You have to measure that out.
Well, I bet it's been a little slow. I think right now, everybody is looking at their discretionary spending and basically going for what they need right now. I think people for a while there were kind of going crazy and buying stuff because they knew that tariffs and, different things were going to take hold in this country. And so, and wherever you live worldwide, I think there's a lot of kind of discernment going on what people are spending on and where they're spending their money and all of that right now. So I understand that, but it looks like some stability might be achieved. Maybe right now it's slow because people, like I said, they've been holding back a little bit. But, if conditions change and improve globally and in this country, maybe things will get better. Things will start improving for you. People will lighten up a little bit again. And, with spring coming here, people just want to have fun, right? It's like my card of the day for the collective. People just want to enjoy themselves. So I wish you luck with this.
Good luck, Shirley. Hey, what's up? What's up? Aww.
And Cherry is up. Some of the economic things I'm bringing up today, I pontificate about the Materials Matters show. You cannot help but look at some of the things going on with so many people losing jobs right now, whether legally or not. There's a lot of people going to be hurting. The prices of everything going up, the different kind of trade wars going on. This all is a part of my Material Matters show in a way, and it does reflect sometimes in what I'm seeing in the cards. So,
hi, Victoria, and we did Toby's birthday reading right at the beginning of this broadcast. We even threw in a little tiny video. Happy birthday, Toby. I did that just for Toby.
And I created a reading just for Toby based on the birthday gift spread.
So
5 cards.
Go to the rewind machine and you will find it there at the beginning. And Shirley, you're very welcome. All right, so we are on Cherry B, and Cherry Blossom has asked, what do you see coming towards me in love for long-term stable relationship this year?
Okay. Your deck.
Yeah.
Your show.
And I'm going to use the Mermaid's Tarot because it has a romantic feel to it in a way. Sensual.
Did I not post the list? I thought I did. Yeah, I did. Okay.
Well, you mentioned earlier it wasn't posting.
Yeah, I got it though. I had to reboot. Reload the page, and it worked again.
It's my cards.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just giving this a quick shuffle because I'm going to use them next. And I just brought these out today. Okay. Fear not, mister.
You're welcome, Victoria. I hope Toby likes it too. All right, card 1 for Cherry Blossom is the reversed Five of Wands.
Oh, okay.
And then we have the reversed Two of Cups.
Wow. That's strange.
More reverse cards. The reversed Ace of Cups.
Jeez. So this is long term?
Yeah. Prospects or chances. Maybe not this year. I don't know.
It may not be this year, for a long term. And I'll tell you why. I almost wonder here
That 5?
Yeah. Well, it's reversed, though.
Right.
It is reversed. It's really more the Two of Cups.
Okay.
But the 5 might be a part of that. And as a matter of fact, Mr. O, that's where I'm actually going to start at the end of it. I'm going to start at the end of it. I kind of feel here, Cherry Blossom, that something may come forward this year, but it is not long term, unfortunately. It may end pretty abruptly too. There looks like there's the beginning of some love or romance starting with that Ace of Cups here, but it's reversed, and so I almost feel like it may get off to a rocky start to begin with, or it may not be the first card after all. I'll get to that in a minute. I may go back to it. Maybe something that's got multiple implications here, because I feel here that the Two of Cups indicates some arguments, or just the fact that as you go along with this relationship, as you get to know the person, there's maybe a number of incompatibilities here. There's things that you just don't get along with, and so you decide for the betterment you need to walk away. You need to walk away because maybe there's too many disagreements or arguments about what you both expect out of this relationship. And that takes me back to that Ace of Cups, because I feel here there's a danger here for you, Cherry B. Don't let this experience turn you off to, love in general. Remain open, remain vulnerable. We all go through periods and people who just aren't compatible for us. But that does not mean that Mr. Ms. whoever right is not out there.
Well, I think when I look at the Wands, which are a fiery card, and the Cups, which are a watery card, I'm wondering if, maybe Banshee's right, that maybe there is something that starts off, but it's kind of like a water and fire situation, or an oil and water situation. Is like was maybe some sort of attraction, but the attraction was maybe more surface level, and it didn't, as you got to know each other, maybe there was more frictions or more things that just didn't seem to blend well. So I'm thinking that maybe there is a relationship coming, but it may not last or turn into a more stable one. It may have too many incompatibilities in it.
Yeah, that's a really good point you made there. I think I wanted to say something else. I can't think, but wait till you see this.
All right.
Because it's kind of going to fit into a little bit of what you said.
And we'd love to be wrong, so if you do, find your relationship is working out, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Here's the writer.
I have some other advice for you, too, in a minute. And the Fox.
And the Fox.
And so what does that tell me? It sounds to me like somebody is hot and heavy will be moving towards you
it's moving
in
towards
this
you.
year. This may be somebody that is very attracted to you, physically, or you to them physically. And remember what Mr. O just said, that it might be a superficial attraction?
Right, it might be more about appearances or some sort of basic attractive thing between you.
There's some magnetism here, There's definitely something that draws you to each other. But, and also I have to say something else. I don't know if you're working right now, Cherry, but it is also possible what this is telling me is maybe this relationship is coming from someplace you work with. Because sometimes the Fox can talk about employees.
It's an office relationship, and
could be
99% of the time those don't work out.
Well, wait a minute.
The odds are wrong.
Wait a minute.
Okay, well, we were that 1%.
Okay.
We met in the same workplace.
We met at the same workplace, yes. So it can happen. But anyway, So I would just say, as a piece of advice to you, remain open, remain vulnerable. Don't let this experience color what you're going, what you want in life. And don't sell yourself short. Don't try to keep something going that is not worth your time and energy. Absolutely, time is precious. And, you want to look for something that is long lasting. If this isn't it, move on. Don't be afraid to cut it off and move on.
Well, I didn't really weigh in on that reversed Five of Wands, and I tend to see it a little differently. I just wanted to throw this out there because I tend to see it a little differently than Banshee does. I kind of feel like maybe this is a person who feels like they end up being overly ambitious about you in the relationship. So maybe they're too much into wanting to move things into a final status quo. And I wonder if that could be it, that they're not really taking time to smell the flowers and really get to know each other. So just a possibility that I felt there with that.
So I don't know. This sounds like, to me, I don't know how quickly this is going to come into the picture and if this is really going to encompass your full year. But I do think finding maybe that person that's going to be a long-lasting relationship is not showing up in the cards right now.
That's a good way to put it.
You might want to ask later.
Sure.
Good luck with that.
All right, Cherry Blossom.
And I gotta say, Ms. Victoria, some of what you said there I mentioned at one point in the reading. That you work from home and you spend all that time with Toby.
Aww. That's very nice.
All right, Kara is up. And Kara's wondering about her Instagram, right?
Yeah, was that your final question about, who did this or what you can do about it?
Or if there was somebody involved, maybe we can take a look at that.
Hey, I have the Tarot of Oppositions here. Not tonight? Not for that one?
Not for that one. Oh,
right.
You do though. But if you want to use it in a reading coming up, we can work with it.
Yeah, right, of course.
All right.
Aw, that's so cute. Tell him we love him.
I don't know if Sonny wishes happy birthday, I'm sure, even though he looks a little bit sapped out right now.
Happy birthday. So, once again, don't forget, this weekend, the happy hour will be on once again at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. But later on in the day, I believe it'll be 4 o'clock, the Unhappy Hour will debut. And it's our special recorded show for the elemental signs of the zodiac, plus a special ending part on what makes the world unhappy. We'll help you find out what it is that's bumming you out and what you can possibly do to turn that frown upside down.
I'm sorry our monthly modality message is a little bit late, but it will be coming out at midnight tonight.
Midnight for all of you. All right.
We did film it today. All right, so for this question we have, starting off, the Two of Wands upright.
How are we doing this? Just 3?
I'm just doing 3
All right.
cards, yeah.
2 wands
The
upright.
Page of Cups is here upright. This is a pretty happy reading for what happened to you. I'm just not sure here, Kara, what to make of this with the cards today. Are cards playing Mercury retrograde tricks on us?
So we have 2 twos.
We do have 2 twos. That's noteworthy. But it's interesting here because the only person card here is positive. And I don't think... I'm wondering if you'll be able to turn this around. I'm wondering if you're just going to be able to fix this and restore balance, restore your account, be able to fix it, get good news about that, and that, you can look forward to things moving in a better direction. It almost seems like it's just really weird here. I can't figure it out. It doesn't sound like you're making any progress with them either. But,
it's hard to get a lot from this. Where's the Lenormand?
I'm sorry. Here, there you go.
I sort of feel like 2 ways about that Page of Cups. Like this might be saying this is an opportunity for you to somehow operate covertly, like, projecting into this or just spying on what the situation is and trying to figure it out from another angle of some sort.
Are you saying to assume a different identity out there?
I was thinking of the term ghosting, but that could be that,
Wow.
right? Becoming somebody else, I suppose, astral projecting. So in our Lenormand, we get those mice. Those darn sneaky mice. We also get a mountain. So
What?
it's sort of like
Okay.
after you get through maybe one set of problems, you'll find that the rest are relatively easier, but are still problems.
Well, I think that you're going to undergo some hurdles to try to sort it out. And it seems to me that whatever happened here, just probably they made a bigger deal out of whatever the reason this happened than they should have. The mice is about little things, right? It's about little technicalities or little things. I mean, is it about a person, or did you use something graphically that set off some sensors? I mean, in other words, I'm not talking about porn or anything like that. I'm talking about maybe using artwork or something that needed a creative license or something for. This happens to us sometimes when we create videos and things with music. They let us know, even though this was free for you to use on your program, it's not free for you to use, publicly in a video. And so, sometimes they have rules that maybe we break and we aren't realizing we're breaking them.
And I can feel that from those two sets of twos there, that they're more about orderly things happening, sort of understanding the way things should flow or should be balanced. So I'm wondering if there is maybe kind of a mistake of sorts at the root of all of this, a misassumption.
It does seem like you're going to struggle a little bit trying to write this situation. But with the tarot being so positive, I'm really feeling balance is going to be restored. Because what are twos? Twos are kind of duality, but they're in their positive aspect here, which twos can be a kind of balance. Now, that card in the middle, the Page of Cups, may indicate to me that you're going to have to try to put your best, Kara, your best face, your best behavior forward. Be very, don't be angry when you deal with them. Try to keep emotions balanced, and try to see how you can work it out to get your account back. Just, try to take that tack. What do you need to do? I don't know what I did wrong, but I really want to know what I can do to make this right again. And see if, being cooperative or being nice will get you where you want to be.
Good luck.
Yeah. I don't see anybody really being involved here. If I had to really throw it out there, I would say if somebody did something to you at all, they really felt in their heart it was what they had to do. And see, that's nothing necessarily malicious to me. It may seem it to you, but it may not have been on their end. I'm just not seeing it. It's not coming up in the cards for some reason. However, the Lenormand is picking up your struggle in trying to get this back. But I think you can do it. I think you might be able to do it. So good luck with that. I just wanted to leave you with that, Kara, because it sounds bad.
All right. Is it Mysterious Queen then?
Nope,
it's Nicole first.
Nicole. But I'm glad you posted your question, Mysterious. Thank you. Here we are. And I'll put these back, and you...
Okay, so your basic question, Nicole, is are you going to be able to control your emotions? Stop yelling and stop being so emotional all the time. Stop struggling with being angry. And that's a real situation. I'm going to use the Tarot of Oppositions because that way we can maybe get more than one perspective here, which might be helpful.
Oh, I like that. This is the perfect reading for that. Good job.
All right. And, we all go through phases, and you could be in a phase and it won't last forever. So you want to think that. You want to think that, you can learn, some techniques to help you control yourself. Sometimes it is about, maybe finding more opportunities to sit with yourself and just try to meditate, try to have a still voice, try to maybe just listen to calming music. Even if you don't traditionally meditate, sometimes having something more relaxing around you could be helpful.
There's so much good stuff on YouTube, and there's other places and programs you could find meditations and things to calm down. I use something called Insight Timer, but I think there's something also called Calm or something Calm. Calm is in the title. And some of these places, they have things you can buy into, but the app is free and they do offer a lot of free stuff. So I use them a lot. I use different ones of those a lot. And of course, I listen to stuff on YouTube.
All right, so here's your cards, Nicole.
Okay.
And the first card is the Five of Pentacles reversed. But this is the Tarot of Opposition, so we can possibly meld the reverse and the upright meanings together, or find an area that's kind of in the middle there.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So the next card is the reverse Nine of Pentacles. And then the final card is the Empress upright.
All right. Yeah, I see a story there, but let's take a look at this.
And it's once again the mountain. First, there is a mountain. And birds. The birds are flying up to the mountain.
Makes such total sense.
Alrighty.
All right, now when we read these cards, this is a special deck that really encapsulates both the upright and the reversed meaning together. And when I read them, because it's a joint deck, but I rarely read with the deck. We usually use it for, well, Mr. O uses it a little more than me. It is his deck, but he's sharing it with me. It's an amazing deck. And so with the Five of Pentacles here, I'd have to say this, and it's reversed. I emphasize the card that's showing upright, face up, and then I incorporate the other part of the card into that. So right now I think this is a period of time where you want to be accepted more. You want to be, you realize that if you're getting angry and screaming at people, nobody's going to want you coming to their party. Nobody's going to want you to be involved in their activities. They're going to start shutting you out, right? And that's what the Five of Cups or Pentacles upright is usually about, this part of the card here. And so, I would just say this to you. Clearly, you realize that some of your behavior is making you feel left out, and all you want to do is regain people's trust, or, the fact that they can, that you're not going to jump all over them, etc.
Okay, and Scooter, I just wanted to let you know that, we will take your question. You're probably going to be our last reading, I think, tonight. But we'll take you on here. I've already added them to the list.
It's only 13.
I know, but there's that many, and we're almost at 8:30.
I might take one more.
Okay. So back to you, Nicole. I think what this is saying is that you will find this place because you are working to find it. The Five of Pentacles reversed is somebody that is looking for a way to be in with everyone else on some sort of level of acceptance or a sense of shared experience. So I think because you are willing to work towards that, or if you are willing to work towards that, that can happen. That sense of control and belonging can happen.
So that Nine of Pentacles is also reversed, and it seems to me that maybe some of your expectations about people's words, actions, or behaviors need to be examined. Okay, maybe you expect too much of people, you're too demanding in some way, or you come off that way. And I think here what this is saying with the Nine of Pentacles down here, the upright being, how should I say this, in the shadows, so to speak, that you need to accept things and people as they are more. You can't change people, you can only change your own behavior.
So some of that might be a willingness to maybe be a little more in the middle, to give a little, to get a little, to find ways to compromise with what you have and maybe what others have, to find something that can satisfy both people. Yeah. I saw that, Victoria. Probably.
We could probably give you a quickie, Ms. V. Don't worry about it. And finally, at the end, is what again?
It's the Empress.
The Empress is upright.
Right.
All right. You know what? You need to be kinder to yourself, too. Sometimes the way we act towards others is a reflection of something we're lacking in ourselves. So think about that.
So bam, Banshee.
Think about that. And so the Empress is saying be kinder to yourself, and then it's possible here at that kindness you'll be able to throw back out towards others. Because here, you've got, the reversal is in actually the reversed position on this card, but I would say in the shadow here is this need for, more love of self. You have to love yourself in order to be able to truly reflect that love towards others.
And a lot of times it feels like it's real treacly and real platitudinous. If you love yourself, then you can love others. But it's sort of in reverse too, that, when you see how others care about you, maybe that makes you see how you can also care about them. So it's sort of separating it a little bit by, degree, Nicole, realizing you can step out of yourself and sort of see yourself remotely, but also see how others see you maybe remotely too. And it really is about figuring out where self-care works for yourself, but where you also learn to be kind with others as well too. And in that first instance, I didn't address the shadow side of the card so much, but this is saying really the best way to find those opportunities of belonging is to maybe examine a little bit more the reasons why you don't feel you're belonging. And of course, this dovetails really into what you already know, because you already talked about it, that you realize you need to find better ways to handle your emotions. So hopefully we have given you a few ideas there. It's not something that is solved like that, Nicole, so don't expect that of yourself.
Oddly enough, Scooter was on the list twice, and I think I know what happened if he wasn't showing up in my thing here. I didn't realize he went to a second line. He was underneath the line of names. Okay. And so it might have gotten cut off. But Scooter, you are on the list, and Victoria's after you. Just want to make that clear before I finish up this reading. And I would say this, Nicole, let's look at those Lenormand. You're saying about how you're screaming and shouting all the time and at people. And the birds is all about communication with others. And the mountains that's your challenge, is how you communicate with others is a reflection on you, right? And you don't want them to keep having this reflection of you being the screamer and shouter. So you really are this is your challenge. This is your challenge, is to find the ways to minimize this, to accept people more as they are, recognizing that you can't change them. And if people aren't meeting your standards, or they're harmful to you, then maybe those people will just have to be let go. That's the bottom line, rather than screaming and shouting at them. That will get you nowhere. And here, again, it is just saying that, love yourself. Give yourself the kind of love that you should be giving to others. And then recognize that. And recognize that that's what others are looking for too.
All right. And when I look at the Lenormand, the birds in the mountain, Nicole, I think what that says is you could try to communicate without necessarily referencing from, where your background says you feel challenged. So in other words, when you talk to people, don't necessarily bring in right away all the things that you feel challenge you, because maybe you set up a point of of being defensive or others feeling defensive. So you want to not maybe put others on the defensive in conversations when you can. Just saying that. Hi, Garima.
What do you want to do? Garima works or something and has been coming late a lot. And we missed them last time. So do you want to add them? And I will definitely close
Well,
the
you're
list.
the one who said that we were.
Well,
still
that was
adding
Victoria, right?
people. I know better than to challenge you.
All right, we're going to go into overtime
No,
here.
you're
We're going
fine.
to add
You're
you,
fine.
Garima. If you want to be ensured
It's
a
her
place
fault.
on our list, though, you got to try to come earlier or at least drop a question in, because then we'll be able to answer it for you if you run late.
I think our biggest thing is that if people come and go and then we spend time looking for them, then we lose moments where we could be working on readings. That's all.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Nicole. Thank you so much. We appreciate you too.
Oh, Tezjavi is up. I don't want to post this list yet. That's next. Okay. So you'll be on the list, Garima. I'm going to post it in a little bit, but you'll be our last reading, and I'm going to type that right now that the list is closed.
Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. And you're probably at a time differential from us too, Garima, aren't you? We're Eastern Standard Time in the States, so it's 8:30 for us right now. But I have a feeling like you're later or earlier, depending.
Is it my deck? Yes.
Yes, it's your deck.
We give you these.
All right.
And we're on Tezjavi. They left a question this time, right?
I don't know. I haven't noticed. So I'll look. I see. Oh, Toronto. Oh, I want to be in Toronto. We like
I
Toronto
want to be
so
in
much.
Canada.
Garima.
Go Canada. Elbows up and all that.
I would gladly move to Toronto. I would so love to move to Toronto.
That used to be our home away from home. We used to travel there a lot.
We've been there about 7 or 8 times.
You know,
at
we
least.
lived in Detroit for many years, and just crossing the Ambassador Bridge, or we take the train, to Toronto. We just loved it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for Tejave. Did they leave a message this time?
I thought they did, because I thought you said something after.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Tezjavi.
I'll look again.
This is your last chance. We will take you off permanently
Yeah,
this
because
time.
we have to close the list at this point. We really
I don't
do.
mind being last. I got to that point.
Thank you. I don't see their question. I'm not sure they left one.
Yeah, I made it to the top of the list, so...
Yeah, see, and we spent a lot of time here looking for the question because we don't have a moderator to do that, and we could be already into the next reading. So I'm afraid we don't have that question.
Sorry, Tezjavi. We'll have to catch you next time. You are off the list now.
All right, so that means that...
That Russ is up.
Russ is up, and Russ has asked, will U.S. citizens see their first Doge check bank deposit within the next 6 weeks? So that's your deck.
Okay.
That's,
I think it's a yes-no.
Yeah,
but
if you
let's
wanna
do
do it
our
that way.
normal yes-no
and
for
then go
that.
back to clarify if need be.
All right. Let's see what the Dragon Tarot has.
What kind of reading are you doing?
A yes-no, which is what I said.
I thought you said we were throwing 3 cards first and then to
Nope.
clarify.
I said
Okay.
this sounds like a straight
You don't
up
have to
yes
yell at
no.
me. Why are you
Well,
being so mean to me?
I'm not being mean to you. I'm
I feel
sorry.
like you're being mean to me.
Well, I'm sorry you
You
feel
turned
that
aside and
way.
said, I said yes,
I'm sorry
no.
you feel that way. Now you made me lose count, which is wasting time.
I mean, I thought we did the other yes no's because you didn't like doing the longer one.
I said it would be the longer yes, no.
Well, I didn't hear you.
We
Maybe you weren't talking directly to me. You
we
were
only
talking
do
that
the
way.
shorter one when we do 3 cards.
Thanks for laughing at us, Kara.
Where's the monsters? Okay. All right, it's leaning towards yes. It's not a definite yes. The first card was the... I'm wondering about this yes. It's the Magician reversed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm not surprised by seeing that here. My own personal opinion, Russ. And then we got an ace, and then we got a second ace. I'm just dying to see...
Ace of Swords or Wands? Ace of Wands.
Your Lenormand for this, too. Is there
So
anything
those
there?
are the Ace of Wands and Pentacles?
Yep.
Just thought I should mention that.
So it sounds like it's about money.
There's the Rider and the Man.
The
Deer
man.
Man. The Deer Man.
The Doji Man. The Musk Man. So, you know,
Smells like muskrat.
it sounds like he's moving along.
Yeah, muskrat love.
He's moving along to create money out of people's jobs and stuff. So he's moving along. But the
Where do
magician...
you get that part?
What?
The part about out of people's jobs. Where do you get that from?
My own personal opinion.
Okay.
I said I was going to interject that here because there's something interesting about the Magician. The Magician is reversed. And so when I see the Magician reversed, unfortunately, I see a con man. I see a person who is trying a sleight of hand. In other words, they're doing something underhanded. And I don't ever feel good about seeing the Magician reversed. It means that sometimes in the better case scenario, Russ, I would say this about the Magician reversed, that sometimes people... You know, they try to get a job, they need a job so badly that they fake it until they make it. And so they pretend they're something that they're not. And that can still get them in a lot of trouble. The Magician reversed is a lot of trouble. So it's leaning towards maybe he will be able to do this. Or is he playing some sort of sleight of hand game here? Because, you know, magicians, nothing up my sleeve, but, well, there it is.
Well, the Magician reversed is often meant to mean sort of like a bad use of power or bad use of certain kinds of power. So there is that. The two aces on their own just sort of clarify the idea that it is leaning towards yes. To me, that Deer Man there is almost a surrogate for the Magician in a way, and the idea that maybe there's movement going on.
Lots of movement. So lots of movement maybe towards this, or maybe towards getting people to believe that's going to happen. I don't know, but I do feel very suspect. Oh, I just left that there when I picked up the deck. I do feel very suspect when I see the Magician reversed. I never feel that way when I see him upright. It's almost as if, I would say this too, Russ, that maybe it's possible here that what might be holding this up if it doesn't happen is the fact that he just doesn't have everything completely that he needs to make it happen.
The powers of the Magician.
Yeah.
So it's leaning towards yes, though.
It is leaning towards yes.
The time thing doesn't seem to matter with this kind of a question. We are basically looking at either yes, no, maybe. And
well, he asked within the next 6 weeks. So I'm saying maybe yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe yes. Or, you know, maybe it might be delayed because he doesn't have the things that he needs. But it looks like it's in the plans to do that. Right. I don't know if I believe it, but I'm reading you the tarot, and I'm just going to call it like I see it. I would have given you a more positive reading on this, saying, oh yeah, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Everything is good, but I'll tell you what, I don't like that Magician card reversed. He and the King of, if I had gotten the King of Swords card here reversed, you might get a similar reading. So that's what we got for you. Good luck with that. right.
And we're on Ari. Ari.
My personal beliefs in this don't matter. So ignore me. Fancy. All right, Aries, the Aries.
Aries, the BAP. So it's about Wendy's. Should I look for another job or stick to working at Wendy's? My goodness, you just got there. What did you expect in 2 weeks, Ari? I'm serious. Like, when are you going to give anything a chance?
So did you really start there? You did start there? That's awesome.
It is awesome.
All right. So what was exactly the question? Is she going to stay there?
Should she stay there or move on to something else? And I'm like, you just got there. Give it a chance.
I thought you wanted to make money and any job would do. It's okay. We'll figure this out for you.
They're not going to give you a promotion the first week, you know. Should you look for another job or stick? Well, I guess I want to do a yes or no like you did. But that's really a 2 and 2.
Yeah, do you want to do 2 and 2?
I'd rather do a yes or no like you did.
But that's not a yes. That was a specific yes/no question. Specific.
Well, then
that's
maybe
why
you
I
get
did
the second part of the
We're still going to
question
argue about this.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Oh boy.
Fine. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thanks for telling me. I almost pulled the Lenormand wrong.
Well, you knew I was going to do that. You knew.
No, you
told me to do it.
I did.
You told me.
I asked you if you wanted to. Anyway.
You told me to do 2 and 2. You did. Okay, so they're upside down, but I guess they're still like that, right?
Yes.
Oh, wait, they're not there yet.
So does that stay?
Huh?
What is those 2 cards for?
Look for another job? Stick to Wendy's.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Look for another job. The Hermit and the 8 of Cups reversed. I'm not so sure what I feel with that. But I guess the Hermit is indicating maybe that you feel like you're alone there, or you feel you don't belong there, or something like that. And the 8 of Cups feels like maybe you should. So there's kind of a change there. You don't feel there, but you should. The 8 of Cups. You shouldn't be looking for something yet beyond that.
You're right, Victoria. You're so right. But Aries season has so many other good things about it. Our tempers are fighting.
You knew I was going to say that. Okay. That was probably about me, right?
No, yeah, probably, or both of us. But Victoria was talking about us. You can tell it's almost Aries season because of our tempers. Yes. All right, listen up.
Well, you are an Aries, so we get that. I live with the most impulsive woman. You're going to have to try a lot harder, Aries. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. So you should, oh, by the way, if you think we're funny now, you should check out our modality messages when it comes out. We had fun there. We were just kind of playful, but it was fun.
Okay.
All right. So at any rate, the Hermit and the 8 of Cups reversed. It's interesting. Should you go? Should you leave and find something else? I'm kind of thinking no. I think you really need to think about this more, Aries. What is more important to you right now? Making some money and staying and getting stable a little bit? Because number one, if you've only been at a job for a little while and then you try to get something else, people are going to look at your experience and say, you only stayed there 2 weeks or you only stayed there a month. you might want to just establish some roots for a while. Maybe that's why the Hermit is here. The Hermit is here as staying. Maybe you need to stay in this cave. Maybe you need to stay at this Wendy's for a while, and not make any and not make any waves at this time, especially if you need to make some money right now.
Good.
Now, with the sixth and the woman here, I'm wondering what it means here. Maybe you're feeling a little bit frustrated on this job. This job may not be all it was cut out to be for you. And there may be a time for you to cut and run, maybe. But I'm looking at these other cards and I'm thinking it's not now.
And you kind of admit that too. So you were just kind of testing the water. So it is saying that maybe there are more reasons for you to consider staying until, in fact, you do find that other job.
Yeah.
So let's look at the idea of staying at Wendy's, right? This was going, this is staying. Okay, so you have the Fool reversed and you have the King of Wands upright. Well, this may be talking about unexpected luck that doesn't work out for you in the staying of there. But on the other hand, this is the card of maybe somebody who finds voice, who finds loyalty, who finds charm. So this is maybe saying there is a place for you there. It's almost like they're both saying the same thing. Like maybe to some degree, you'll find your voice there in a sense of that they will appreciate you as a loyal person if they feel that about you.
So is that the King of Wands? That's
Yes,
the King
it
of
is.
Wands. Well, staying there has its, I don't know if I'm the Fool. It's really interesting to me. I feel here that you may feel that this job may have been a misstep for you. Maybe, like I said, you're not completely happy there. The King of Wands indicates to me, though, that you could find that you could actually possibly get into working there. I don't know why, but I'm feeling that way when I see the King of Wands, that maybe this would provide you with some stability and self-empowerment, so you would be able to eventually move on to another job.
Which kind of shows from those two.
Which absolutely shows from those two here.
The Lenormand.
That you would, if you really built up a little bit of a good reputation there, or some good, experience there, you will feel more empowered about moving forward. So, you know what? I don't know if they do what we do on some of our jobs, that you have a 3 to 6 months probationary period, but maybe you should at least stay for 3 months and try to have some continuity there.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm thinking just set a goal for yourself. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not 3 months, maybe it's only 2,
Okay,
or maybe
yeah.
it's longer. But set a goal and tell yourself you're going to stay with that goal, and that even, come hell or high water, you're going to wait till that point at least to really decide if you need to move on or not.
I get the feeling you will move on, because, it's funny here. Even though we were telling you should stay where you are, you do feel like you want to eventually move from there. That cut that I see there with the scythe. So you will want to cut and run to find something else, but you probably should try to stick it out a little bit, because I don't know, with that King of Wands there's something to be gained from it. There's just something good
You're
to
welcome,
be gained
Russ.
from the experience.
Hope you liked it.
So good luck with that.
All right, Ari, good luck.
All right, Russ, I'm glad I was able to do that for you, arguing aside.
That sounds like fun, and you'd get to see movies, I'm pretty sure. You're welcome, Ari. Good luck, whatever you do.
Yeah, movie theaters are a nice idea, I would say.
All right, so we are on Mysterious Queen, and Mysterious Queen left us a question too. So I'm going to look for that.
All right, yeah, they did. All right.
Please tell me, is person's divorce has finalized? Not can you please tell me how long it will take?
If what
he's
is
in a
finalized, I missed that part.
My question is, please tell me, is person's divorce has finalized? If not, can you please tell me how long it will take?
Okay.
I'm not done.
I'm listening.
Good. He is in toxic marriage. I'm asking this question after 4 months as it was expected in 2025.
Okay.
I get those.
I know. Here's a cat deck.
So, in a sense, it is a yes or no question again.
Will it be finalized soon? Is that it?
Well, the first part says, can you tell me if their divorce was finalized? And then it says, if not, can you tell me how long it will take?
Okay, I could do a 3-card yes, no. And then how long it will take, I can do the timing cards.
All right.
If needed. Oh, these are the wrong cards for that. Oh, well. Pentacles. Okay. It's leaning towards yes. So it's not a definite yes that it has been finalized, but it's leaning towards that it should have been.
And that's the Ace of Wands. I can't read that. What is that?
Is that dandelions?
It's
That's
8 of
swords.
It looks like pentacles to me, but it's so hard to read. No, it says branches.
Oh, branches. Then it is wands. The Ace of Saucers is cups. There are dandelions in here, that's what I was asking. And there's the Ten of Mushrooms reversed, which is pentacles.
All right. Lenormand. The first one is the stars. The second one is the mountain.
It's a very mixed bag reading. I am questioning these results, but it is acting like it should have been finalized. The Ten of Pentacles reversed indicates to me that this was a struggle to get there. There may have been some back and forths about financial support. I don't know, like it's a toxic marriage. Were there children involved? So it might be a matter of some financial support or even some support for the spouse going on.
Just the idea of that Ten of Pentacles reversed, it normally speaks to the idea of a stable family, even if it's not necessarily all about the loving, beautiful things. There's sort of a sense of family structure there, but it's reversed. The family has been not stable. So it may indicate the breakup of a situation.
It very well could, but also the Ten of Pentacles is about shared resources and money, like family money, and so, or resources like a home, a property, different things that are involved sometimes and children, when divorces happen. So there maybe there are some loose ends as far as
Lingering.
that goes,
Yeah.
that need to be worked out still. But honestly, it almost looks like this should be, that it's likely been
The Lenormand
finalized
pick
to
up on
some
this
degree.
too, that it was probably some sort of sense of struggle or frustrations or problems that eventually did come, with a sense of peace, or that it was a process to work towards that.
Well, I'm actually going to take that
You're going
towards-
differently.
No, I like what you said, but I'm going to say it hasn't happened yet. I'm saying that right now they're struggling to work this part of it out. And, it will be resolved and likely probably this year. So I think that maybe on paper or close, they may be divorced. There's agreements in place. However, there may be some dangling issues regarding money, finance, property, etc. Something. And I could throw the timing cards on that, but maybe you need to, if you don't know if this divorce has been finalized, maybe it's time you really
check into
that with that person and say, I need to know if this happened or not. And if not, tell me the date. Because to me, I'm seeing that it might have happened, but there may be some unresolved issues that they're working on. And maybe that's why they're hesitating moving forward right now at this time. So, I don't know. I hesitate to do the timing cards on this. I really think you should check in with them. Because to me, it looks like some of this might be resolved already. So, good luck with that.
All right. So, moving along, we're on Scooter Wilmot. Hey,
and
Scooter.
that was Mysterious Queen. I'm sorry if I said Scooter. I meant Mysterious Queen.
Scooter's question is this. His name is Sean Svensson. There's attraction. What is his feelings and will he show me? I'm looking for clarity. I've been trying to help him because he is on probation and he has drug problems. Alrighty. I'm going to use my Deviant Moon again for that one. Hello, boy. Are you going to jump up and bother us again? Are you?
Thank you.
So basically, we're wondering if Sean has feelings and or will show them towards you, Scooter. Clarity, basically looking for that relationship.
Well, that's almost a yes/no too, isn't it?
I guess.
I'm going to do 3 cards on that if I were you, but
what is his feelings? That's not a yes or no.
Is there an attraction? What is his feelings? Okay, yes. And we'll reshow that. It's kind of a multi-question.
Card the first. It's the 9 of Cups upright. Card the second. It's the 7 of Pentacles upright. And then the final card is the reversed Page of Cups.
All right.
And there's the Tower. And the Heart. So there's definitely something going on here, I think. I think Sean has some strong attractions or feelings towards you. It may be involving the idea of happiness, wish potential, feeling strongly attracted emotionally. That's the 9 of Cups. The 7 of Pentacles maybe says they are willing to stand strong or stand above the challenges, and that could refer to their own problems with, their addiction problems. So this could be saying, maybe by looking at them both, as saying that if they did feel they were, attracted to you, you might be a part of a reason why they might want to try harder to deal with their problems. On the other hand, that sounds like codependency too. The idea that, somebody does it for somebody else rather than themselves. So I'm just going to put that out there in a way.
So that's the 7 of Pentacles. Okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I look at the 7 of Pentacles as really stepping back and assessing
you're
the
right.
situation.
I'm sorry. I blew that.
I thought you were looking at it as the 8 maybe.
Nope, I blew that.
Okay.
I'll have to come back to that.
But let me go back here a minute and look at that 9 of Cups. The Nine of Cups indicates maybe there's some passion there. Maybe there is some desire. Will he reveal it? Maybe. As we go on in the reading, I might indicate that. But I really think he's giving this a lot of thought. He's
Yes.
stepping back and wondering, is this something that I should pursue? Is this something that I want to see grow and, happen in my life right now? So I'm wondering if that's it. He wants to follow his passion, but he's not sure, whether it's really right for him or not. And so he's giving this some thought. And then when we have the
Page of Cups reversed.
the Page of Cups reversed indicates that I just feel for now he is really not ready to reveal it. When you said here, will he show you? I'm not sure he's ready yet.
It may be that he hasn't really decided for sure in his head that although there's a point of thinking about this, the Page of Cups maybe says he's not comfortable going all the way there. It may be a sense of self-consciousness involved in the situation. Like maybe this is a person that admitting that they have certain problems, but that they also have an interest in you emotionally. Maybe that's challenging for them because they might realize that it's still that level of codependency that I talked about earlier. Everybody wants to be healthy, and some of us feel like we want to make the healthiest decisions possible, but some of us are also aware that we can't necessarily easily find our way there, and we do fall back on other bad habits maybe.
And when I look at the heart and the tower, I have to say that to me, it seems as though he is somewhat marriage-minded here.
Okay.
If he's not married now, which I assume he's not, that he may be marriage-minded or maybe looking for something, a relationship that has, will provide him with some structure, some security.
The tower itself could also be talking about the idea of, their sense of rehab, probation rehab. And so maybe the heart says they want to embrace getting healthy on its own too. And that's a good sign then that they want to do that for its own sake, that they are thinking about that, if that's my interpretation. They're also thinking about you.
Well, and I thought about what you said there, Scooter. He's on probation. And, I think that his heart is into doing the right thing here as far as his probation goes. When I look at something like the Tower is about institutions, okay? And it could be a prison. It could be, because also sometimes...
Court system.
What?
Court system.
Yeah, well, right, legal system. Yeah, absolutely. And so I think his heart is into now trying to be, on the right side of things. But, addictions are they're a hard thing. And so, hopefully he can stay on course. I feel like that he's just not ready maybe to totally reveal his feelings right now. But any help that you provide, so long as you're not enabling and being taken advantage of, okay, might be good for this person. I would say that.
We'd love you to come back and ask again, maybe if things develop a little more.
So that's what we've got for you, Scooter. Good luck with that.
Alrighty. And that means we're on Victoria for a quickie. Victoria. How quick are we going to do that?
Do what? Is there a question?
Victoria.
Oh.
Her quickie. What are we doing? Just
Where are you, Miss V? It's my deck, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Oh. Did I pull the top? Yeah, I guess I did. Okay.
Give us an idea of Victoria. What are we doing for you? Oh, you did? Okay, I'll look for it then. Hold on.
Whoops.
Do you have Chick-fil-A? I can answer that. Yes. Is that it?
Yeah. We do have a Chick-fil-A nearby.
Oh, we're going to look too long. Here it is. Will I be able to buy a teeny house, move somewhere to the country, and raise tiny goats, teeny and tiny?
Boy, I couldn't hear any of that.
Job.
Oh, there it is. I'd be able to move to a tiny home and live in the country and raise tiny goats. Miniature goats. I love goats. Goats are so adorable. A tiny house. You know, I look at tiny homes from time to time, but I got so much stuff. Even if I got rid of a lot of what I'm going to get rid of, a tiny home still would not encompass everything that I want to keep. So, but I like looking at them. I think some of them are really fascinating. And some of them that you can build on and add to, I kind of like that. I like the container homes a lot. Well, should that be a yes, no? That would be fast.
Nothing's fast with you.
I'm just going to throw 3 cards. And a she shed, yes. Yes. Okay, so, this sure sounds promising. It's the Empress upright.
It's a she shed. No, wait, it's not.
But there's the Queen of Wands reversed.
Bitch.
Hey, and the 9 of Swords is reversed.
Well, that's good.
The 9 of Air, what do you got?
So, of course, it's Victoria, so therefore there are mice.
How does that happen?
Let there be mice. But guess what? You're putting them in a coffin, maybe. Or they're coming out of the coffin,
wow.
one way or the other.
That is awesome. No, I like the way that landed. So, Mother Nature, getting out in nature. That sure sounds like a possibility to me, Ms. Victoria, with the Empress. This shows a love of the outdoors, a love of nature, connecting with the natural world. It's highly possible. And I do think, in a way, the Empress calls for, finding the abundance in living a simple life in nature.
With goats.
With goats. Because nature has everything you need, So I like the concept here. I like the way we started.
That. I think it leans towards that idea. I'm going to go a little further with the Queen of Wands and saying that maybe this is saying to some degree you have to be willing to, compromise to some degree. It's not going to be all about your way, but that may not be so hard. You might find ways that you can actually compromise what your needs are with what the situation on the ground really ends up looking like.
Well, I think the Queen of Wands reversed is just saying that maybe you have to really truly believe in this dream and that it's possible. And not only that, and believe in yourself and to pull it off. And also, it's going to take some real, it sounds simple, right? Oh, a little house, let's raise goats, blah, blah. But it's not that simple. And you realize that. It's going to take some strength and determination of will to be able to get everything together you need to make this work for you. And so that's right now the stumbling block is getting there. Getting from this to that. And
realizing that there's nothing really here that's going to upset you if you really think about it. Don't let those problems be there. Just bulldoze through them.
Well, this is saying, you have to put aside your fears, your anxieties, but also to look carefully at what your fears and anxieties are, because some of them might be real and some of them are things that you may have to consider in order to pull off what you want to pull off. And that's where turning this Queen of Wands around is. You have to be able to have the courage, the strength, and determination to take whatever it is that you're afraid of and take the fear out of it. Take the fear out of it by taking appropriate actions to make this a reality. And look, you have the coffin and the mice here. And I have to say that you can put an end to these these things that are blocking you. These things that are blocking you may only be temporary, but it is up to you to want this badly enough and be proactive and productive, because the Empress calls for that. She calls for you to work, do the work on making this happen.
I like that. And I like that too, the kibosh on the Mises, put them in a coffin.
The coffin, you're putting them to bed. Yay.
Hey.
All right, we are on Garima now.
And Garima asks, I'm interested in someone new. Their name is Khadijah. I'd like to know their energy towards me. I'm wondering if something could develop.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to use... I thought I had it here. Here it is. My Ancestral Path Tarot. I have not used it tonight yet, so why not?
Okay. And that's our last reading, so we are nearly done. What am I? Wow. Okay.
3 cards. First card is Magician upright.
Now the Magician's upright. Okay.
Second card is 6 of Cups upright. And the last one is the Queen of Cups upright.
Oh, that's pretty good.
This is really nice. Khadijah may be an interesting new friend, maybe more, who knows. We have in Lenormand the birds and the key. So that tells me a lot right there. But your question, you're interested in Khadijah. You want to know their energy towards you. Well, this person maybe thinks a bit about you. Their energy is very vibrant and willful. Maybe they want to make magic with you in some level of saying that, whether that's a very serious, deeper relationship, or whether it's just in the context of knowing you as a friend, that there's this idea of having a life that really kicks off, sparks off, that there's newness about it, there's exciting things about it.
Well, the Magician is all that. The Magician is a lot of that. But I think this is saying that this person might be looking at you as somebody who just has it all together. They may have good feelings about you. And, magic aside, a lot of times, the Magician is about having the right stuff. Okay, the right stuff to either perform magic, the right stuff to make things happen in their lives. And maybe it's just this person is looking at you in that manner, that you have the right stuff, Maybe that's what they're looking for.
6 of Cups.
The Six of Cups to me could indicate to me, oftentimes it talks about connections from the past, but I will say this, that maybe if you met this person through friends, that might have, some connection here. But I think that what this is saying is that they may feel comfortable around you because you remind them of somebody from their past, some good feelings they had with somebody from their past.
You feel like family to them.
Maybe. Well, or friends.
You feel like somebody that they know. There's a familiarity about you. There's a comfortability about you.
Yes.
So then the final card is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a person who is very balanced emotionally, very able to perceive what's going on inside themselves, as well as usually most other people. They really are a master or mistress of the emotional capabilities.
I don't know if this person is a water sign or not, but, there's a real water element around this person and the Queen of Cups. So I think that emotionally, There's somebody who's very empathic and compassionate. Be aware that they are very much into, they kind of can read people really well. So I just want to let you know that because, I sense a real empathic quality about this person. And so I would just say this, that right now in the early stages of talking to this person, don't confuse empathy and caring for something deeper. I would just say that at this point in time. I mean, it could be there. We're seeing signs of that here. But, maintain some perspective here.
Right, and I can't disagree with any of that, and I think that does take us logically towards the idea with the Lenormand, the key in communication.
And before you get into that, I'm going to let you go first, but I have to talk to you about this, Garima, because I don't know, it just seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we're often telling you communication is the key.
Right, but in terms of where anything may go with Khadijah, whether it's just a really good friendship that has lots of possibilities, or whether it may develop into some other kind of relationship, the key is just going to be about communication. And it's not necessarily about, making any assumptions. It's about really talking, opening up your heart, or letting their heart open up to you. Exploring the idea of what makes you feel good about each other, the familiarity you feel. You're welcome, Sherry.
It's really an interesting reading to me. I feel here communication is key on a number of levels. Like maybe it's this person who has to communicate to you now. Maybe you have to wait for them, more signs from what they are saying to you to understand what their intentions truly are. Or maybe you just need to communicate more with them so you can really ferret it out. But I have a feeling here also this could be saying to me, you will be commiserating more and communicating more with one another. And that's good and healthy. It may lead to something. It may, because I do see some possibilities here. It's just that I don't want to completely jump the gun on it because...
Right. All things in time.
All things in time. And even though you do have some cup action here, and cups are all about the heart and emotions. So I think, I may have told you this in the past about some other people, is just, hey, give it a chance, keep talking it up and see where it leads. I think there's possibilities here.
And good luck with that.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. So that's our show then.
That is our show. And we're getting out of here. I got stuff to do tonight. Oh my gosh.
I know. Well,
and so do you. You got production to do.
I have a longer day at work tomorrow than normal.
You've got an in-service though, and you're getting pizza.
Well, I don't know what we're getting. It's probably going to be pizza, but I don't know for sure.
It's true. All right. Well, anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming and the great questions and putting up with our little roll up the sleeves back and forth stuff going on. So have the great rest of your evening, great rest of your day, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods.
Watch my show tomorrow morning, The Emotional Exchanges. Watch our show whenever it's on tonight at midnight, the monthly modality message.
Find out what your astrological modality is and check out the readings.
You're welcome, Victoria, for the readings, of course.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Give Toby a little kiss for us.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Toby. All right, take care, everybody, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.